Democratas versus republicanos. Nas eleições presidenciais norte-americanas, o país elegeu novamente o democrata Barack Obama para o governo. Porém, mudanças devem acontecer no futuro dos Estados Unidos. Veja a matéria. Uma disputa acirrada. O presidente democrata Barack Obama venceu o republicano Mitt Romney por 336 votos contra 206 no Colégio Eleitoral dos Estados Unidos. Porém, o que muda a partir de agora para os americanos e quais seriam as consequências caso os republicanos ganhassem?
If the Republicans win, they're going to try and cut back a lot of government programs that provide health care, services to women, for example, for birth control, grants for education. So it'll be very divisive. It'll be a problem for many in society, and there'll be a lot of arguments. They've also said that they would cut environmental regulations, so you would see the environmental movement, I think, very upset. President Obama is reelected. He has promised to do more in many areas.
First of all, 60 million people watched those debates, and what they allowed many people to do was see Mitt Romney vis-a-vis President Obama, one-on-one next to each other for the first time, and I thought that was very important, and it was important for Governor Romney to define himself to the American people in a way that was very different than the American people had seen him. The question is whether the policies of Barack Obama, which take some time to go into effect, are going to have effect. The Democrats believe, I believe, that in fact the economy will get better. It won't be dramatic, it will be slowly. If the Republicans come into office, there's going to be a significant change in tax policy, and there's going to be a different philosophy about how to stimulate the economy, and we'll see how that works.
Já a relação Brasil-Estados Unidos não deve ser alterada, tendendo a se estreitar cada vez mais.
Well, I think the good news for Brazil is that Brazil is not an issue in our campaign. And whoever is elected president, I think the relationship between U.S. and Brazil is only going to get closer. Now, the only exception would be, say Dilma decided she wanted to get involved with Ahmadinejad in Iran, the way Lula did. Or if Dilma decided she wanted to take Chavez's side. And if Romney were president, he would not take that well. But I don't think Dilma would do that.
Mas além dos partidos possuírem diferenças históricas, eles também representam os grupos sociais, definindo assim as escolhas da sociedade norte-americana.
Here's the problem, and it's actually very sad. One party, the Republican Party, is the party of white people, of wealthy white people, and then of working class whites, including some very fundamentalist Christians. The Democratic Party is a coalition, a mix of Latinos, blacks, Asians, students, gays, and it's really not healthy for American society to have that kind of split. But there are historical reasons for it. And what that means is that the parties, it's not just ideology, they represent different social classes and different groups, and they reflect this divide in American society between the groups that were part of the 60s and 70s to gain more rights, like women's rights or gay rights, and the reactionary people who are upset about those changes. But it's not absolutely certain until people vote, and a lot will depend on who votes. You know, in Brazil, you're required to vote. In the United States, it's voluntary. And we often make it hard for poorer people to vote. So a lot will depend on who gets their voters to the election booth.